am proud to have the opportunity to speak with you. And talking about purpose is something that I really do appreciate having the opportunity to indulge in. And of course, we all have a purpose, I believe. I believe God brought us here to this earth to fulfill his purpose. And I believe that our purpose, therefore, is a manifestation of the purpose that he has for our lives. So I believe it is our responsibility to seek our purpose, and we do that through prayer. The Bible teaches us that if we seek, we shall find. And since our purpose is intimately tied to the lives of other people that we bring service to, I think it's critical that we succeed in finding our purpose. Now, God has people out there just waiting for us to step up to the plate and deliver the needed services that they have and that we carry in our purpose. Now, I think it's very important that we seek our purpose and that we seek to deliver our purpose, because otherwise, if we don't, we are creating a void in the lives of people who are just sitting out there waiting for us to do what we're designed to do. So never stop seeking. I believe personally that God purposed me to bring joy and quality of life to people who otherwise would be suffering. Now, that's just one purpose. So my heart is inclined to care for the elderly. I get great joy out of delivering quality of life and to help to make them happy. Now, I spent over 10 years working in an environment where I owned and operated an assisted living facility, and it just amazed me how much joy could be brought to people just by me stepping up and living in my purpose. Now, I would like to give you a personal example, for example. This particular example has to do with my life. My mother has 10 children, and she spent all of her young adult life taking care of children. There were many instances where, her young friends would want her to go out and do. She said, "Oh no, I can't do that. I have to stay here and take care of my children." So she didn't cut any corners on that. She was very diligent about it. Now, I was kind of a sickly young man, and I had boils on my legs, and she would take me to the doctor, and the doctor didn't know exactly how to treat it. He would give me penicillin shots, and they would go away, but they would come right back. Now, after doing that a number of times, getting the same results, she got scared. And she told me, she said, "Arthur, I'm just so scared. I don't know what is the matter with you. But I'll tell you one thing," she told me. "I will never leave you alone." Now, little did I know that those very words tapped into what I believe to be one of my purposes in life. Now, the way it manifested itself is when my mother got older. This was over 70 years well, no, it was over 60 years after she spoke those words to me. She was 90 years old. Now, I started to take care of her. And it gave me great joy to be there with her, to see her laugh and have a good quality of life. And she just thoroughly enjoyed me taking care of her. Now, what happened is that her last day of life, we had our wonderful time. We did everything that she likes to do. We went to the places she likes to go. We came back. She sat in a chair to rest for a while. And she did. She went to sleep. And she just never woke up. Now, the reason I mention that is that when my mother told me I will never leave you alone, some 50, 60 years ago, I thought in my heart at that time, and Ma, I will never leave you alone. I never told her that, but I thought that. I will never leave you alone. But the reason why I know that that was part of my purpose for being here, the day that she drew her last breath, I hadn't thought about that conversation with her in so many years. It came to my presence that, Ma, you promised me that you would never leave me alone, and I promise you that I will never leave you alone. A promise made is a promise kept. So that just ties into the fact that I believe God has a purpose for us all. He taps us into what we need to do and how we need to do it. Now, I believe that we actually have more than one purpose. So I would call it multi-purpose, because when we stay attuned to do God's will, I believe we'll find that there's going to be more than one thing that He has cut out for us to do. So my goal is to stay attuned, continuously seek God's purpose for my life, keep my heart inclined toward His will, and follow through on whatever it is that He would have me to do. So not only will that fulfill His purpose, that will bring fulfillment to me and the quality of my life here on earth. So that's my belief. And I thank you very much for the opportunity to speak it.
Well, and I appreciate that. You know, when we conceived this idea about a Collision with Purpose project, I thought about you. And having done many things, you know, working with you in different capacities, I knew that you were the person that could really articulate your purpose based on experience and based upon acting on it. So you saying that a promise made, a promise kept is so appropriate. So I thank you for that, Mr. Hines.